welcome back to the Late Shift, Hall of Fame College Football. I'm your host, Jason Watkins, and if you love college football, you know you're in the right place. So before you forget, smash that red subscriber button, like our videos, and don't forget to ring the bell so you don't miss one moment of Hall of Fame College Football. Welcome into the show, everybody. Let's see, we've got, hey, everybody check in. Check in as you get here. Got a little bit to talk about, and I only have a little bit of time to do it, folks. I got somewhere I have to be in exactly an hour and a half, so we're going here in we're going to go for a little over an hour so I can make it on time. What's up there, Scott Walker? Good to see you, my man. Welcome into the show. Let's see. Who else we got? Come on. Check in as you get here. I was just reading. Oh, Mike Gundy. This guy is something, isn't he? Something. His I find it hilarious the way that, well, first of all, I'm really finding it hilarious, and I hadn't really gone that much into this so far. Cody's been trying to goad me into having these conversations, but I hadn't been wanting to do it. What's up there, T Boomer, Sooner Cowboys, gentlemen? How we doing today? Cody Light has been trying to kind of bring me into this shit, and I've been not wanting to do it, but the delusion is starting to get a little weird and creepy and just odd. What's up there, BYU football? Hate that we lost out on Jacob Eberhardt. Yeah. I'm not sure what I think about that. But even Chris Mason was saying that this is not a good I find it weird that Chris is doing it, but talking about that it hadn't been a good late June, early July for OU. And I guess that's true. But it is what it is. What's up there, Smook? My guy. What you doing? Oh, Smook been over there just blowing up lately. If you guys haven't been watching him, he's been blowing up. What up with you, man? But anyway, I was just gonna and even talking about Eberhard or whatever. Look, if you look at these losses that they're having, right? They're losses of players into who? Schools like Illinois, schools like you had the loss of the what was it, the linebacker that went to Rutgers, the guy that went to Wisconsin. Here's the thing about stuff like that. That tells you that these are programs that are, what is the word I'm looking for here? Well, desperation mode if you're Rutgers and Wisconsin, I would say. And that's something that you have to look at. That's Kyle DePuis, Boomasuna. I don't know if I like this style of recruiting right now. Well, it's not, you know what? Okay, that's cool. This is something we can talk about. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to drop a link in there for you guys to be able to call in here in just a few minutes. Again, we're not going to go for very long. Thanks, Smoke, for coming in, man. Appreciate you. Just appreciate that. You might want to listen to this next little bit, though. I'll just let you know that, with Cody Light he's pounding this drum about how Oklahoma State is doing this and doing that and doing this and doing that. And why are they're being so treated shitty and all this other stuff, and by the rest of the league, and nobody's picking them to be very good. There shouldn't be very good, no more than likely. But and here's the reason: if you start looking at why that is, first off, acting like you're winning a bunch of these recruits, like they got the defensive line guy he's an in-state kid, but he's on the smaller side. I understand that he's a 4-star, but at 6'2", 270, okay, cool. You know what I mean? Okay. There's clearly a number that Oklahoma's not willing to go to with some of these guys if they're going to play the game the way that they want to play it. And that's just something that you just saw. Got the one that went to Baylor. Okay. T-Boomer's talking about it now. They're not going to play this. We're going to get into bidding wars for every player that we recruit even. there's going to be certain guys that they're going to go after, and there's going to be certain guys that they're not. And what they're not doing is getting so stuck on the stars that, you know, that they're going to go and overpay for a guy and do the same. I mean, look, Texas they lost Felix Ojo to Texas Tech. Well, I wonder what the hell they had to. I mean, we know that they went to $5.1 million to get him to go over there. Well, what was the number that Texas wouldn't go to, right? I'm telling you now, some of these guys are going to, first off, not end up at the schools that they're committed to right now, because you still got a long way from now to December. 6 months, as a matter of fact, from now to December. Number two, and here's the other reason that you're probably not seeing a ton of stuff as far as OU's concerned. But let me focus on Okie like Cody for just a second, and we'll get back to this. I promise I'll come through this and we'll talk about it. All right. Okie like Cody is in this. It's hard for him. You know, I love the dude. He's like a brother to me, but he's like that delusional little weirdo brother that just can't stand it. Right? He just can't stand it. Translate, we're not going to be here long, maybe a long couple hours. We're not going to be here a couple of hours. I'm telling you, I have to be somewhere in exactly 1 hour and 21 minutes. So I cannot. I've got to be out of here. All right. Oh, Cherry Bear dropping memberships. Thank you, Cherry Bear. 5 Hall of Fame college football memberships gifted. Mr. Dillegaff is one of them. Where you been, dog? Oklahoma Sooners football, Emperor Hadrian, Sinless Sphere, DJ Specs. Well, you guys are new to the show. Most of you, I just hadn't seen Dillegaff in a while. Maybe he's in here and not speaking. Maybe you guys are in here not speaking. This is a good way to find out who's watching and not talking. Appreciate it, man. All right. When it comes to Okie like Cody, here's what he's doing. He's going on this wild. He has to believe, and I think he's confused. I really do. I think the guy is confused. As what do I want as an Oklahoma State fan? This is Cody Light talking. And what he wants is to see them go to the top of the Big 12, which he thought was going to happen last year when they brought back 20 of 22 returning starters from the year before, in which they lucked out and got into the Big 12 championship because of the shenanigans that happened in the Bedlam game. But without Oklahoma and Texas in the league, they should have been right there. No problem. But just like normal, and here's what I've been trying to explain this. These dudes it's smoke and mirrors when it comes to Oklahoma State. It always has been smoke and mirrors when it comes to Oklahoma State. They literally have four non-conference wins, and one of them came last year against teams that finished the season with a winning record. And if you have to look at it as the regular season with the winning record, if you look at it as the regular season with a winning record, it's still just 3, okay? Because last year Arkansas finished 7-6. They won the bowl game over Texas Tech, and they finished 6-6. In any event, the rest of the time, and we're talking about a program that the same year that they won the Bedlam game, got to the Texas game in the Big 12 championship, lost it. They also lost to South Alabama that year. South Alabama didn't end up doing much, but they lost that game. They turn around and they've lost. I remember games that they've lost in the non-con to teams like Central Michigan, and almost lost to them twice in Central Michigan. So we're just talking about OSU's not in the top 5 at the end of the year. No. Okay. So he's telling you that how dare everybody not give them the love. You realize that, and Mike Gundy himself said this during Big 12 Media Days the other day, was that he doesn't even know what he has. Because 35 guys that are going to be on the team in the fall have yet to practice with OSU. 18 of them being, they went and got heavy in the portal again. In the spring portal, they went and got like 18 dudes. They're heavy. I think they have a total of 55 newcomers. I think is the number. I'm pretty sure. It was a long trip back last night. So I'm telling you, this is something that you got to look at. Is these dudes are absolutely doing it with the same way they always have, smoke and mirrors. But for a guy like Cody to sit there and just bash on everybody, and he's been talking shit about people that are saying that Mike Gundy's on the hot seat. How could he be on the hot seat? They went 0-9 in Big 12 play without Oklahoma and Texas in it when they had 20 and 22 starters coming back. Now they've got a bunch of dudes that they've had to reboot the entire roster, and their decision is to go with probably 2 quarterbacks. They're not sure if they want that Haas Haney kid or if they want to go with the other kid, the kid from Kansas. What's his name? Zane Flores. Okay, cool. But Cody, he's so confused. He doesn't know what he doesn't know what he wants to believe, but he believes. Watch this. He thinks that he's being quote unquote objective is the word he's going for. Objective. He told me the other day, he said, because I told him he was drowning doing all this stuff. He told me, I said, dude, you're drowning. You're drowning trying just to make everybody believe all this shit. And I said, you're counterproductive for OSU even being good anyway. I feel like I do a very good job of being objective, he says. I call Gundy to the carpet when he does dumb shit. I also give flowers in the area I think he's improved in. Well, all he's done all offseason is give flowers. And I've got to know, how in the hell are you going to give this guy flowers 5 minutes after he went 0-9? No Texas, no OU in the league. It's basically a league made up of former WAC and Mountain West teams or Sun Belt / American Athletic Conference teams. And he's talking about giving him flowers because he thinks he improved. They're recruiting so much differently and blah, 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 blah. And he talks about how he willingly fired that staff. He didn't willingly fire the staff. They had to have him at gunpoint to do it. Remember, he was sitting there saying, well, maybe I'll just take my buyout. He was bluffing at the leadership at Oklahoma State on Wednesday, Thursday, talking a bunch of shit. The weekend ends, and it's either you're going to freaking figure this out or you get your ass out here. Oh, not only that, we're going to give you a pay cut, and we're going to cut back on your freaking buyout here, or else you're out now. So he comes back with the damn, discount sticker strapped to his forehead because he had to bend over in order to keep his job, and then fires all those staff members, brings in all these new staffers. So how is that? Why are you giving the guy flowers for that? Why are you giving the guy flowers for that? Shit. If you care about the program that you're coaching and more than just your own ego, he cares about his ego more than anything. Believe that. At some point, he realized, oh shit, my ego's going to take a hit here if I actually get fired because I didn't want to fire my damn shitty ass staff, which they are a shitty staff. And he kept them together forever. But you also remember that last year, Cody talked about, well, he finally decided to start going to practices because they made him do that. You know what I mean? Okay, yeah. So that tells you how little he cares. But still, this dude is just taking up for Mike Gundy. He doesn't want them to fire him. I tend to wonder sometimes whether or not Cody really wants to see Oklahoma State succeed. Because there are coaches out there that they would absolutely succeed under a hell of a lot quicker and to a higher degree than Mike Gundy has. Even if you want to go on that, and I could fight I could fight you on this all damn day, and I have plenty of ammunition to make anybody look stupid that says that Mike Gundy is really that good of a coach. But I'll even let you say that he was a really good coach for a time. But it's clear just from things like what he said at Big 12 Media Days about how so now cheating is legal. Now you just got to know how to do it. They're great. They know how to go. Talking about his new staff. He doesn't even, and I mean, okay, so they're spending all this money in recruiting, which, by the way, still has them ranked well below Oklahoma. And he's talking all this smack. Cody's still talking all this smack about the recruiting. They're still way below where they should be. Where they should have been spending that money is in the portal, making sure. And they did. They did spend some money in the portal. Maybe they're going to get guys that'll help them be. But if you don't have if you've got two quarterbacks, we know you've got one. None. Two means none. You got to have an established quarterback. Period. The Oklahoma State season at 0-9, if you think about it, I would have wanted to fire that staff if it's the team that I believe we should be better. We've got Ollie Gordon, we've got, all these offensive linemen back, we've got all these defensive players back that we think so highly of. And we're not succeeding at the level that we should be. I probably would have fired their asses long before they lost by 50 to them Colorado to end the season. I'd have been firing them off. They're not, in what he doesn't understand is this recruiting class that they're bringing in, it's not Brandon Whedon. It's not those kind of guys, Justin Blackman. Tyreek Hill ain't on it. We'll see how it goes, but I'm just saying he should be calling the guy to the carpet, and he's kissing his ass. He acts like he calls him to the carpet a lot. He never really does. And when he does, he'll back off of it real quick. I think that that's the biggest thing. And I think that he is emblematic of the entire freaking fan base when it comes to Mike Gundy. They have this belief deep within their little brother DNA that says we're not going to do any better than what we do with Mike Gundy, because Mike Gundy has made them believe that he's the best thing that they got. He's loyal. He won't go anywhere. Well, listen, shit. What? Two of the last three coaches before Mike Gundy ever took over won big at Oklahoma State. They couldn't beat Oklahoma, but that's neither here nor there. That's the whole deal. The bottom line is until they ever figure, but it's deep in that DNA. That little brother DNA tells you that we can't do better than this guy, and so we just got to stick it out. We're going to overpay him to be half-assed, even without OU and Texas in the mix. Until they stop doing that and go get them a GJ Kinney or a hell, I'd be all over what's his name at UTSA. Damn, why am I skipping his name? Shit. Anyway, you guys know there's a lot of coaches out there. Why aren't you in the mix for getting a guy like shit? There's a lot of these coaches, man. I mean, shit. Let me think of some of these younger, better coaches. Yeah, I'm not going to go too far with that. I'm done with it. The point is, we gotta remember that a lot of this shit, it's all subjective in how you're recruiting, right? It is. It's all subjective. Now, Oklahoma, they're 10th in the SEC in recruiting right now, according to On3. 10th in the SEC. All right. They've missed on a couple of targets, supposedly. But here's where I would caution that you either have to go with what they're trying to do or you have to be completely against it. And I'm going to tell you, I don't have a problem with the fact of who's running the damn recruiting. What's up there? Rob 077, Sooner in Texas. Let me say hi to everybody again. Satterfield. What's up, my guy? Neelio. What's up, dude? Marge Jams. Hey, what's up there, sharpshooter? Okay. What's up, my guys? You got a new, what is your new, okay, you got a new emoji here. I was just checking it out there, Mars. What's up, guys? All right. Who else? Did I miss anybody that just came in when I was ranting a little bit? Did any of the people that are the new members chime in yet? What's up, Riley? Good to see you, dog. Dupuis, BYU. What's up, folks? Kimberly K. There she is. Good to see you, Kimberly K. Good to see you. Good to see you. All right. Let's see. I should come on the show tomorrow. I could go on the show. I should be able to jump in there. Yeah, just shoot me a link. I should. Crucifix, my guy. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, but that's where the rant. I mean, and the rant should. This is going to take me into what you guys were bringing in, and talking about the concern, like T Boomer being a little worried about losing some of these guys in the recruiting. Now, if you're recruiting them, you're recruiting them. But I'm gonna remember. I'm just want to remind everybody, and this includes Chris Mason apparently because he's a little worried too. Part of it is going to be because of the fact that I think Venables is at least to some extent on a hot seat, right? Maybe it got a little hotter whenever with Joe C leaving. I think we're starting to hear some other things that maybe it's not just maybe it wasn't him just ready to leave. Maybe it's him ready to leave. Maybe it's him being pushed out. I don't know what it is just yet. And I don't think we're going to know for a while. But the rumors will be out there, and you got to kind of decipher between what's real and what isn't. What we do know is that Josie is always been kind of stuck in that compliance model. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be that way. Yeah. Yeah, missing out on Illinois and another recruit today. Yes. Well, but in the fact that Randall Stevens is going to be the guy that decides on who the new athletic director is, it almost tells me that the athletic director may or may not have that much to do with what's going to happen in football. I think they're going to be more in charge of what's going on with the rest of the athletic program, particularly non-rev, things like that. Because I think even the way that they presently do things, you have assistant athletic directors that their specialty is certain sports, right? And they are more assigned to that kind of stuff. Football and basketball certainly are their own. There's enough going on with them that you could focus just on that stuff as an athletic director and be in good shape. I don't know that they even need an athletic director focusing on football at Oklahoma because of the fact of having a CEO like Randall Stevens, not to mention having Jim Nagy as your general manager. I think they kind of got it under control. And not for nothing, I'm not saying anything bad about Joe C, but I don't know that he's really has been that instrumental in what the football program is done. I think he did a very good job bringing in Stoops, and Stoops kind of went from there. Okay. That's just my feelings on it. All right. If OU misses on Grochi and Cruel, then we should worry. And I would definitely agree to an extent with that statement. Cruel especially. I think that they're willing to pay the money because Cruel's most likely going to be a 5-star by the time the cycle's up. I mean, I think he's 3 or 4 spots out of being a 5-star at the moment. At the most, like 10 spots. So it's possible that he could definitely move up. Are we now going to be a portal team? I think that this year we were a portal team. And I think that's where I think part of it starts with the last cycle, right? Because they went so heavy in the portal in comparison to what they've done in the past. Not a ton heavier, but it was heavy. To the point that they dropped a few guys off of their high school class that would have definitely put them up around that top 10 range. they took them off of their list, right? They told them to go elsewhere, and they did. The only guys that they kept as true freshman folks coming in, I think, were guys that they think may be able to contribute immediately, a la the offensive line guys, Michael Fasusi, Ryan Foje, Darius Afalava. I know that Afalava didn't do a lot in the springtime because of an injury that he had from high school. The prevailing thought is he could be in the rotation whenever the fall gets here, because he's just that kind of kid. Another one of those top 100, top 150 guys that just a mauler as a guard, and he's a big dude. So that's something that I think that you have to realize that, yeah, I mean, they'll definitely be in the top 20. They'll be in the top 20. They're in the top 20 now, aren't they? Maybe not by 247 standards. Let me look at On3 again. Team rankings. Yeah, they're in the top 20 now. 22, sorry. They're at number 22, according to Rivals On3. But is there some sort of a ratings boost coming up? I read somewhere Monday there could be some guys become 5 stars that were currently 4 stars. Yeah, so this happens periodically throughout the year. And they're not going to boost a lot of ratings during the summertime because there's not a lot of stuff. I mean, there is stuff going on, but it's like 7-on-7, and they got to get to this camp and that camp and this camp and that camp. And then they all kind of come together and decide who gets a boost, who doesn't. How many of these guys were willing to, to be a part of a story that somebody wrote on their website, blah, 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 blah. You know how I feel about that. But I don't know that it's just and here's the thing, again, something that Mason told you before, and I want to remind everybody of this, is you got to remember, guys, this isn't just going to be, at least right now, and this is what we talked about with, Jim Nagy doing it his way. He told those guys on the Triple Option podcast that they're going to go after guys intentionally if they grade the same for them that a 5-star grades at, and they're a 3 or a 4-star, they're going to go after the 3 or 4-star guy. They are absolutely going to do that. Why? Because they're going to get a lot more value out of it. And you're trying to stay within a budget when it comes to your $20.5 million. Something that we're noticing, though, as I said on the little video that I dropped on the road yesterday, this stuff isn't going away when it comes to the rest of the shit either. What's up, Coach? I told you guys on the road, the plaintiffs for the House versus NCAA settlement are already telling you that the NCAA, the CSC, all this stuff, that they're already breaking the conditions of the settlement by saying that they're going to, and they've already been doing this too, basically 100% saying that if your NIL deal comes from a collective, it's not valid. There's no way that shit is going to land. It may land for the moment. It's not going to land forever. But you've got to keep it all in perspective. Nagy told you he's going to go after guys that may not be recruited or may not be ranked as high by Rivals, On3, 247, ESPN. He doesn't care about that shit. In fact, if he does, I shouldn't even say he doesn't care. They care. They're not saying they're not a 5-star, because I think anybody can pick out the 5-star guys. I think it's not that hard to figure out, or even the top 100. It's after the top 150, 200, 250 guys that you're not really sure who's what. Because a lot of these guys are just not getting a lot of looks. They're not going to a bunch of camps. That doesn't mean that they're not 5-star talent. And if they're grading them as highly as a guy, as the 5-stars are getting graded, or somewhere close to it, why wouldn't you go after the lower guy that you don't have to pay as much? Now they're playing an NFL game where we're trying to pay guys. You have to do it with an NFL model, which is what Jim Nagy is. I think that as fans, we have a hard time. We get kind of stuck in the past of, This has worked. This is what's worked in the past. Always, this is what's worked in the past. You have to remember that it's not about what worked in the past. This is a new era of college football. If it was still in the past, then yeah, guess what? Nick Saban probably still be around. But it's not working that way for Alabama. So he's not there. Kalen DeBoer and his crew are having to do things differently. The game has got to be played the way it's got to be played. And it's an NFL model at this point, at least to some extent. Not everything's NFL, but that's the way it is. What do you mean by saying anything, T-Boomer? I'm not sure what you mean. Do you think he do you think what he said had anything to do with us missing on Jacob Eberhardt? No. I think it's pretty clear who offered more money. T. I mean, I would just tell you that. What's up there, Drew? I would tell you that. I think that no matter what, the way you look at it, he's not going to come off his number. If you think about what's the running back's name that went to Texas A&M that everybody's so high on, and we think he's really high on Oklahoma too. Shit, you 5-star kid for this class. Somebody give it to me. You guys are way more into this recruiting shit than I am. But anyway, I know for a fact that kid alone right there, he still wants to come to Oklahoma. He still wants to come to Oklahoma. Definitely have a hard time with it. Not used to losing recruits to SMU, Baylor, and Illinois. If they can't win against them, then I don't know. Well, you're either going to stick to your numbers or you're not going to stick to your numbers. That's the only thing I can tell you. You're either going to stick to your numbers that you truly believe in, or you're not. Because, and here's what I would tell you about losing those players to the likes of SMU, Baylor, and Illinois. When you do what Texas Tech just did and you spend $5.1 million on one player, kind of similarly to, Nigel Kennedy with them last year, they had to ride her all the way to that championship round, and then they got beat. What do we know works in the SEC? What do we know works to get you a national championship? And especially moving forward in college football, you're going to go to a 16-team playoff. You're in a 12-team playoff now. It's going to take 16 or 17 games to win a national championship. Depth is key. So if you don't stick to your budget and you don't stick to what you believe a certain player is worth, if you stray from that, then you cannot achieve the depth that you're looking to achieve. It cannot be done. A budget is a budget is a budget. You can't do it. If your home budget, well, thank you, Christopher Satterfield. Welcome to the show. If you think about your home budget, what you have at home, Eberhard is a legacy. Yes, Hatton. I was talking about Hatton. Thank you, Topher. What I know is they weren't willing to pay near the number that Texas A&M was willing to pay because, and this is not because they don't think he's good, it's because they don't think he's a 3-down back. That he hasn't shown to be a 3-down back. From what I understand, it's been because he's remained in contact with DeMarco. He wants to play for DeMarco Murray. But the discrepancy in pay was so big that he didn't have a choice. But I think essentially that was Nagy saying, no. We're not paying for a kid that's a 2-down kind of guy. We need a guy that can play all 3 downs, get tough yards, things like that. Okay. Essentially what he told him, go prove it to us that you're a 3-down back your senior year and the money will be there. So that may not even be out of the realm of possibility. The other part of it you have to think about is some of these guys are definitely being, if you don't think Oklahoma's being negatively recruited, you're crazy. But just think about your home budgets. You budget what you budget. You have your bills every month. You have to pay for this, you have to pay for that. Then you have your budget left over for your, vacations, et cetera, whatever. If all of a sudden you decide in the middle of a budget, you don't even consult your budget, which people do this, but all of a sudden you decide, oh, well, I'm going to splurge and, instead of this $500 car payment that I have on my wife's car or whatever, I'm going to trade that in for, a chick getter. I'm going to go get a freaking Maserati. All of a sudden this is outside of your budget. It's not going to work well at the house. Not only that, you go pay in a bunch of freshmen a bunch of money, more than what you're paying the guys that are already on the roster. Now you start messing with your locker room chemistry. And you got people pissed. And make no mistake, you also heard Nagy say this. I've never thought, he said that he never ever talked about his salary with an adult in his life and could not believe how all these players know each other's money. They know exactly what each other makes. There is no secrets when it comes to that shit. So you're messing around with your ability to keep a cohesive locker room like that. You have to stick with your budget. If whether or not you agree with it, I'm fine with that if you don't want to buy in. Because you're not sure about it. And I think it's a fair way to go about it, by the way. We don't know that this is going to work this way. My assumption is that the guy's been in professional football long enough to know what type of kids are going to land in professional football and which ones aren't. If you look at it, there's a lot of 5-stars that bust. Jackson Arnold. There's a lot of guys that are 3-stars that end up in the league. Trent. I mean, what was Orlando was a freaking 3-star too, wasn't he? And I know for sure that, we talk about Creed Humphrey a lot. He became a 4-star, but not until late in the cycle on his last year. Can't play. Can't pay a player out of high school. Hasn't proven anything in college football over players you have on the team already that already have. I don't think that it's necessarily that you can't. It's that you got to be careful about making that. I think there's exceptions to every rule. I think that you needed to pay David Stone. You needed to pay Michael Fasusi. You were going to have to pay him to get him in the building. Well, Dave's here says, bah, locker room politics is the same as any other company. In fact, it's biblical. You take the deal, you made it, isn't based on what another person got. Well, you know what, Dave, that's easy. It's I think that's a good attitude to have. I don't think it's shared by a whole lot of people around the country. I'll just tell you that. And Nagy, you trust. Good. And look, I tend to trust him too, Mars. Right now, I trust him too. I believe that here's what I really believe here. And if we're going to start getting real about this, here's real. Real is that we've been trying to play the Saban game and win all the 5-stars that we can and all that shit going back to when Nick Saban got to Alabama 17 years ago, 18 years ago, whatever it was now. We've been trying to play that let's win as many 5-stars as we can, and we've got a bunch of Big 12 championships out of it. We ain't got a natty. It ain't working like that. So you better find a new way to get the players you have to get. I go back to what they were doing at Clemson. And by the way, it's not just Jim Nagy that you should be trusting in. Michael Boganowski Sr. told you on Monday, when we had Big Monday last week, what did he say? He's doing the same thing that they were already doing here. They were already doing it. Are there some guys you're going to chase that are up there 4 and 5 stars? Sure, they're going to be there. And I would tell you that they've got more 4 and 5 star guys uh, particularly defensively speaking, they've damn sure done a lot more of that since Brent Venables got here than they'd done in a very, very long time. So it's not just a Nagy thing. They were already doing this. I I think that you have to find a new way, guys. I think that you have to find a new way. And I think that the facts are that the guys that are those 5-star guys, there's going to be a few that get a deal like a Texas Tech deal or, Houston or BYU where they go out there and they pump a ton of money at them. And so they get them to go to, they're still Power 4 schools, by the way, but they get them to go to one of those kind of schools instead of where they probably would have gone other than that. In the case of Felix Ojo, Texas, it looked like the quarterback that ended up going to BYU, he probably should have went to like Ole Miss or USC, right? Ends up going to BYU. That's hilarious. But, some of these guys, and then the quarterback at Houston, LSU was on him. I know Georgia's been on him. I mean, there's plenty of other places he could have gone aside from Houston, and still may, by the way. And that's the other thing that I would warn against. Just this is the end all be all what's happening in June and July, because it's not the end all be all. Look, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and drop the link. You guys can call in. We're only gonna go for another about 30 minutes. We're gonna go for another 30 minutes. So I'm dropping the link in there. You guys want to pop in, have a quick talk. Your face will not be on there, so pop in. I'll answer a question or two, and we'll get you going like that. All right, guys. What's up, D? Good to see you, man. Corporate Duck. Dave's here. They set position value just like the NFL. Say a quarterback is highest paid than the end left tackle, DBs, etc. Correct. You're right. You're right on that. I agree. Kenneth Murray was a 3-star. Yeah, wow. That's wild. CeeDee Lamb wasn't a 5-star guy, was he? I don't really remember. I'm telling you guys, I don't pay as much attention to. Yeah, look, I think that Dave's here. This is right, because here's the deal on that. Coach will tell you this. Coach and I have talked quite a bit about this stuff, and the lifeblood of any program is going to be your 3-stars. How many of those guys do you get? Because a lot of those dudes, they just haven't really become what you wanted them to become just yet, right? I mean, they have potential, but they haven't really shown it or whatever is what the deal is. Hold on just real quick there. Oh, I thought I had somebody in here. Wait, maybe I do still. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, hold on. What's up? We got Bishop Frank as a caller in on the show. What's up, Bishop Frank?
What's going on?
What up? Can everybody hear him? Good. Yeah, there we go. What are your thoughts on this, Bishop Frank?
Hey, the simple fact is we're in a new era, and a lot of times we always try to go back to the old, but we're in a new dispensation. And if you're in a new dispensation, you gotta move differently. You gotta make different choices, and you gotta trust the new process.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was saying a minute ago. I think that you had to figure out another way, because we're not winning the arms race in terms of who gets the most 5-stars and shit like that. We're not. And we weren't. We haven't been.
Right. But check this out, Jason, and family out in the chat. Think of it like this. Right now, we got the best nucleus that we have ever had in a long time. And in order to keep that rolling, you got to be able to evaluate, develop, and make sure you choose people who choose you. And so, with that said, that's why Jim Nagy is the right person for the job. Because if anything, you want players and their families knowing that they're NFL bound and they're going to put in the work necessary to get there. I can't hear you.
I'm muted. My bad. You got to
Go
believe
ahead.
in what they're trying to do. I tried to hit the unmute. I was looking for a video real quick. 1 second. But if we're not gonna, we're either gonna buy into what they're doing. And here's the thing: if it doesn't work out, you know that Oklahoma's not gonna stand for it for very long. I mean, we just talked about the fact that part of it is too that I do, to some extent, I am in agreement that some of these cats are definitely going to be, what's the word? Oh, well, I believe that Brent is to some extent on the hot seat. He's not completely as much as everybody talks about it. I don't know that the number 8 is a hard and fast number. Now I know a lot of people don't agree with
Hi,
me on
Mama
that,
K.
and that's fine. But I think that if you were at 7 and you have a bunch of tight losses,
Yeah.
that would have gotten you to, kind of similar to what we saw last year, then I think it could be a different story, right? What's up, really flawed?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Th- to be honest with you guys, right now, I'm up here wanting Nagy to keep adding the necessary pieces to be competitive depth. That's the only way you get a dynasty is you keep adding pieces that add to your depth.
Correct. Well, and its depth is that's what I was just saying. Now we're going to a model. We're in a model today that says you got to win, you've got to play 16, 17 games to win a national championship. We're getting some echo. That ain't cool.
Yeah.
Let me see. Is it echoing now? Because he just
Hello?
hold on, Bishop. Mute for just a second. Are we still getting echo, folks? Bishop has an echo. Yeah, Bishop always has an echo.
Is it me?
Yeah, it's you. Pop off and pop back. Pop off and pop back in, and make sure that you're out of the quit where you were watching it. Quit the internet browser real quick, and then pop back in. Or you can do it like that. Yeah, there you go. Most of our All-Americans were 3 stars, correct? Let's see. Monty Cisco saying CD was a consensus 4-star. The only reason he wasn't a 5 is because he didn't attend camps. Right. Hey, Mom. Hey, Mom. Really flaws in here. Let's see. He Joe DeSim. Oh, you're going to be all right. Yeah, I think he's going to be fine. Okay, cool. Jack Burton, college football discussion after 11 o'clock. So what if it's OU? Yeah. Okay. Thanks, bud. Appreciate it. Welcome to the show. All right. You should be good now, Bishop. Unmute yourself.
Can you hear me now?
Yep. Is it still echoing to you guys? I didn't hear it echo. Y'all tell me. You got to say something for them to know.
Okay. This gumbo is fire.
Yep.
We're good.
Okay, we should be good.
Go ahead.
I think it's still echoing. No, it says really. My mom says there's still lots of echo. Come on, everybody else, tell me. Talk, Bishop. Talk.
Yeah.
We're still getting it. We're still getting it, man.
All right. Well, real flawed change with me, so I can get.
Yeah, really flawed. Hop in real quick. Too. Okay.
I'm gonna try to get it right.
I'm gonna drop it again. All right, guys. All right, that should have helped. Somebody else pop in. Let me know what you think about it. Again, we're only going for another 20 minutes, 17 minutes. It didn't echo while I was muted. Oh, then that could be me. Hold on a minute then. Let me see what we got going on with my settings. I don't think it's me though. Should not be me. I didn't have echo cancellation though on. That could have been it. We'll see now. We'll see what happens now. Okay, cool. Anybody else? People just want something to cry about? Well, that's true. No doubt. Is there any fan base ready for football more than Oklahoma this year? No way. No way. Hey, check that out. Big Trap reposted the stream for me. Hey man, my guy. I'd love to have Big Trap come on. Telling you. That's like the toughest get in all of YouTube is to get Big Trap to show up. Hadn't happened yet. I'd love to see it. But he's had a lot of stuff going on. I'm glad to see him see that he's putting out more content right now after everything that's gone on this summer, man. I'm glad to see him back out. So shout out to Trap House Booming. I was in his neighborhood yesterday too, man. Damn. Yeah, I got to do a short show. I've got a little secondary job that I usually do, and I usually have it done by the time the week's over with. But because I went to San Antonio, I didn't have time to. Much better, she says. Okay. What up, Comanche? My guy. Good. All right. What else we got? What else? Man, can't wait till the season starts. Tables are about to turn. I like where they're headed. Look, here's the thing, and I think you said this a few minutes ago too. Believe it and I said this a few minutes ago as well. Believe this. A lot of what's going on is a lot of negativity about the Oklahoma program. There's, and even from the fan base itself, you've got a lot of people saying that Brent is on the hot seat. Again, I think it's debatable how hot that seat really is. It is debatable, right? I don't think that they're going to dump I don't think that they want to pay BV $35 million to walk after this year, right? If they don't have to. So I think if they were to win 7, I think they're fine. Even if they were 6 and even if they went to 6 and 7 and 6, not 6 and 7, and they had, say, a close loss on the road at South Carolina or Tennessee or obviously Alabama, something like that, these things would play into that. I think a lot of it's going to depend on what do they look like. Is it because they're imploding at the end? Is it something that you're seeing bad coaching that he's not figuring it out and they don't believe that he can? Then that might be the other way. But I think if they can keep from doing it, they don't want to fire him. I just believe that's the way that it is. The offensive playbook's better. I haven't even played it yet. I got to get to it. But I got all this other stuff going on. I don't know. Yeah, listen, he's supposed to come on the show. He was supposed to come on the show a couple of times. I think we never did really like hammer out an actual day. He was supposed to be on Coach Rick's show, but that's when they had a death in the family right around that time. And so that's why he didn't come on Coach Rick's that night. Like I said, shout out to him. We all love from here. We're not hating on him whatsoever for it. So it's, you gotta take care of your family first, and that's what he's doing. But we definitely, I poke at him a little bit. I want to get him to come on the show, so we'd love to have him for sure. Has anybody seen the ATX Sooner lately? I hadn't seen him much lately. He popped into one of them and said keep it up or whatever, but I hadn't seen him. I haven't seen anything that he's done. That's another one of my boys that I like him. We like having him on. The Nagy hire brought BV a couple extra years, barring a 5-6 win season. Could be. Like I said, I think that's all debatable, and I think a lot of it's going to depend on it. But I also think here's the other deal. I believe that you look at it in terms of if they win this year, then a lot of these close ones are going to be a little bit different. Let's see. Hold on real quick. Can you hear me? Yeah. Who we got?
What's up, brother?
My man. Big Trap in the house. What's up, dog?
Oh, chilling, man. I just sent you a DM on Twitter, bro.
Oh shoot, man. My fault. My fault. Oh,
Yeah.
I'll pop you on. Well, I see that you don't have your picture up, so man, it's all good. And he says, "Man, you are not. Come on now."
Yeah, man.
Oh no. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, my guy. I'm sorry to hear
Yeah,
that.
man.
This whatever's going on with it. I mean, just like we said, personal stuff is personal stuff. It's kind of is what it is. And so, but and
Just
we
just let me say this, Jason. I tell you guys this, man. Since we're on this hot seat talk and whatnot, and I hate to go on a tangent, but when the
do it,
spirit
do it,
moves
do
your
it, do
boy,
it,
Big Trap,
man.
I can't help but go on, man. And I just want to say, bro, there's probably people in y'all life, bro, that y'all may not be giving them the flowers the way they should be getting them. Or maybe you're caught up in work or raising your kids or doing this, doing that, advancing in your career. And
Mhm.
maybe you're not giving them that attention that they desire, bro, that they really need. And you might not know it until that time's gone. And when that time runs out, bro, the worst thing you can have is the regret of wondering what if I did this, what if I put in more time there. Cause I tell you, man, the pain of regret is so real, man.
It is.
It's so real and it hurts so bad, man. When you Man, I don't be the come bro show. I'm
No, no,
rolling
you're
with
good.
Coach
You're good. You're
Venables,
good.
Jason, man. I hope we just get it done, bro. Cause I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Your boy Big Trap needs a good season, dog. They say it comes in threes, and it's no joke, bro.
Man, you ain't wrong. You ain't wrong. You know, I talked to another friend of mine last night when I was traveling back from your neck of the woods. And I'll tell you, there was a lot of same thing kind of going on with them. They're going through
Yeah,
one thing and then another thing hits and another thing hits and they're like, and there was a death in the family there, and I don't think my friend really like they were more worried about everybody else than about themselves. And now after the funeral, after all that, when they didn't really do the mourning the way that they probably could have or should have or whatever, now it hits it all. All of it kind of comes down on top of you, you know?
exactly, man. Just cascades on you.
It does. And so next thing you know, you're like drowning in it. And
Yep,
it's like, what the hell's going you know what I mean? And dude, and I've been there myself. It's easy, easy, easy to fall into that. And I mean, it's just human nature, man. The only thing I can say is, man, we're gonna keep you in our prayers no matter what. And as far as the OU goes, look, I really feel like just winning some of these games this year, I feel like a successful season, and you correct me if you think I'm wrong on this, Big Trap. I think a successful season means that you are in contention for the playoffs in the last 2 or 3 weeks.
exactly. That's what I say, bro. Just be there.
Right.
Just be there. Just have a chance to be there, man. Just have a chance to be there. But man, Jason, I know I'm always stalling on you, man. Something seems to always come up, bro.
You
But man,
straight,
don't
bro.
ever think I don't appreciate. Man, I really do appreciate the support, man. I really hope you know that. I hope you
Dude,
don't
I
ever
do
think
know
I'm
that, man.
flaking
You've been
on you,
saying it,
man.
and man, just those little shout outs go a long way for us. You know what I mean? They really do. And so, because you're that guy to me. You always talk about the big dudes of OU creators, dude. You're one of those guys. That's you. So
I
we all
appreciate it,
look up
man.
to you. We are. I mean, I've said this before, and I'll give you your flowers right here. Satterfield was on that very first one, right?
Oh
Where
yeah, Jimmy's everywhere.
he is. But I was doing that live stream and nobody, I think there was 4 or 5 people, none of them were talking. And I was at the point, this is that first year, I was gonna click off of that damn thing and I was never gonna turn it back on. I was never gonna turn it back on. I was done with the shit. And you pop in all of a sudden and you start talking, and then the next thing you were, I guess, on Twitter inviting people to the show. And next thing I know, there's 50 people in there. It was more people than I'd ever had, and we're all talking and interacting and stuff like that. And that was you didn't even know me. You didn't even know me. And you from that day forward, and that's when I started watching you more and stuff like that. And I couldn't believe that you were talking to me in the first place because I didn't know who you
And
were,
that's
but
the
I'd
thing,
watched
man,
your, I'd
Jason. I
watched your
try to
show.
be such a great ambassador to this game,
Yeah.
but at times, bro, And it happens a lot in not just the coaching profession. If you don't, you got you got to take care of both sides of the ball when it comes down to the
Yep.
life and house. And I just, man, I was just
Yeah.
watching, man. I was like, man, I can't flake on my man Jason.
Dude,
He's
you are
always
not
holding it
flaking
down,
on me,
bro.
bro.
But
You're
if
not
I just
flaking on
wanted you to know, man, I just really wanted you to know, big dog. I appreciate you guys, Coach Rex, man, Bishop, Pastor Mike, man. You guys are some real good people, man. And if you guys are not watching and not subscribing and not hitting the like button, I don't know who the hell you watching, bro. Because I'm watching everybody.
my man.
And if you're not watching Jason and them, bro, coaching all those guys, you're tripping, bro. You're really doing yourself a disservice, man. Because I invest in people. I love football. I love this great game, but I love this great game because I know it is one of the greatest conduits to life, and it depicts life in so much.
We
And
kind
it
of
just it makes us
welcome
great
people
people.
into our lives a little bit with these things. You know what I mean?
Exactly, man.
We show a little more of our lives than what I think you normally would show for sure. Um,
Exactly. And
but
I'm a recluse, bro. I'm a straight hermit in the closet type of guy, so
I feel you, bro. That's how I've been the last 3 years. I'm telling you, this is all I do. I ain't got a life outside of this shit.
I'm telling you, man. But I
It's
just
too
wanted
weird.
to tap in, man, let you know I love you, man. I appreciate all the support. Don't ever think I'm not in your corner, man. The road is arduous, but we will continue to lean forward and saddle and ride on, man.
That's
I
right.
really
Hey, man, you know
appreciate
I
you,
love
bro.
you, man. You know you're my boy, and like I said,
No doubt.
you're the reason that I'm still doing it. So, I mean, it was gonna end that day, but I remember all of that, and I'll never forget that. And so anything you need, man, I'm right here. So
Heck
holler
yeah,
at
man.
your boy, and I'm right here with you, man.
Heck yeah, man. I love y'all, man.
You too,
Boomer.
brother.
Trap
Shout out to
house.
Big Trap, man. Shout out to Big Trap in the house. I can't believe it. That is a highlight for Hall of Fame college football right there. That is a highlight for Hall of Fame college football. And no bullshit, the guy definitely this show is here today because of Trap House Booming. If it wasn't for Big Trap, it wouldn't it would we wouldn't be here right now. We just wouldn't. So I appreciate that, man. Damn. What's up there, Benji? You caught it right in the last 10 minutes of the show. I got to get out of here tonight, but we're just talking about these, and getting into this recruiting stuff. And I think that in the end, that's what Trap was just talking about. I mean, he's kind of mixing in some personal stuff with it, I think, as well. And prayers for him for what he's going through. And it talks about going in threes. Man, I know what that's about. But he's gonna be all right. I know that we're gonna keep him in our prayers, and he's gonna be all right. But I would just say, when it comes down to it, I think we can sit here and worry about if we're gonna worry yourself to death over recruiting for right now, then you're probably, man, that's a long time to go until the end of the year. And a lot of things can change up until from now until the end of the year. If Oklahoma goes out and takes care of business on the field, then this recruiting stuff will take care of itself. And guess what? The players that they do land in this recruiting class, and I don't care who they are, the players that they land, let's say it's much more heavy or closer to that 20 range, that number, top 20 range, than it is the top 10 range. You can only really grade your recruiting class in a couple of years when those players have shown you what they are. So it's tough to sit here and just look at, overreact to it. Yeah, Benji, you're right. It's people overreacting to recruiting in July. Yeah, it is what it is. This is why they do it. And believe me, it's definitely profitable for you folks and all of us to overreact to the shit. It sells them more subscriptions. And that's what it's about. The longer we do that shit, the longer that, it just helps them out. And I'm just telling you, man, I believe, love you too, Mike. Love you guys too. I love everybody in here, man. You guys are my people. I'm telling you though, and hey, by the way, has anybody heard from Hank? There's a member of our fam that has not been around in a while, and I haven't heard from him in a while. Anybody who knows Hank or how to get a hold of him, hit him up with a message. Tell him to send me a damn email or something so I know he's okay. I've been thinking about him. Hey, Scott, man, I'm sorry to hear that. That sucks. That sucks, man. Prayers, man, for sure. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, win games, recruits follow. No doubt. If they're, because you do have to shut down all the negative recruiting talk, and believe that the negative recruiting is going to happen no matter what. But if all of a sudden they got, we get into early mid-October and they've got 9 wins already. Now all of a sudden, all that bad recruiting, those recruits are going to be like, what was it? You were saying that he was going to be gone and all this stuff. You got a guy like Steven Lasson who has been out there saying that he thinks Brent Venables is going to be gone mid-year, mid-season. Okay. I have not seen Hank at all. It worries me. Love me some Hank. That's my boy. If you guys, I know there's Satterfield, you know how to get a hold of Hank? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Kimberly K understands the loss of a sibling. All love, man. It sucks. But I'm saying that negative recruiting can backfire on you too. You know what I mean? It could definitely backfire on you. So it's something you have to remember that sometimes when that happens, you gotta, you just gotta remember that it's a lot of it is, no, man, you're good, dude. Hey, I appreciate you coming in and man, that's a highlight of my career doing this, man, is having you on the show. You're the guy that we look up to. You know how to get a hold of Hankster? Legend, make it happen. Give him my number or something and tell him to give me a call. Do something. I mean, shit. I haven't talked to him in a while. I'm just a little worried. Let's get a hold of him and find out. Lots of the Texas Tech fan base saying Tech should have went to the SEC. This is already funny. Well, the Texas package instead of OU. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. They've lots of the Tech fan base that still hasn't been to a Big 12 championship game, much less won one, talking that shit. Go ahead, folks. Go ahead. Oh, I got a SUV, man. I got an Explorer. It's pretty nice. It's not too bad. I like it. I'll drop it up there. And what was packed inside of it? Only goodies, my man. Only goodies. Trying to say some shit. Look at you. Guess what else I did yesterday? I went to Buc-ee's on the way back. Hey, just going over there just to go to Buc-ee's is worth it, man. Just to go to Buc-ee's. Let me do this real quick. Let's see. Tech getting cocky. Yeah, they are, dude. Again, they haven't even been to they haven't even been to a freaking Big 12 championship game one time, much less won the shit. You shouldn't be talking, It's just pretty wild to me. Let's see. All right, I'll show everybody my car, then I got to get out of here. The new ride. It's new to me anyway, so it's just but I should be in it quite a bit here coming up. But I'll show you 2 things at once. The new ride at Buc-ee's. The new ride at Buc-ee's. All right. All right, man. Nah, it was a pretty smooth ride, though. I enjoyed it. It was a nice trip back. Stopped and got some Buc-ee's. It's pretty good stuff. You know what Confucius say, Jack Burton? A man with hole in pocket, feel cocky all day. All right, I'm going to call it on that one. You guys have a good one. Check out our MyBookie is one of our sponsors. Make sure you get over there and check them out. Make some money off of it this year. Hey, Jason Watkins here with Hall of Fame College Football. And if you are ready to back your favorite team, the Sooners, and fade that Texas hype train every Saturday this fall, there's only one place to do it, MyBookie. Right now, you can double your first deposit up to $1,000 when you sign up at hofmedia.us/mybookie1000. That's hofmedia.us/mybookie1000. Yep, 100% deposit bonus, and it takes less than 5 minutes to get started. Whether you're betting college football, rolling the dice in the online casino, or dropping a 10-leg parlay on SEC Chaos, MyBookie has everything you need. Bet anytime, anywhere, on the go, at the tailgate, or yelling at the refs from your couch. Just don't talk trash. Put your money where your mouth is. Hit that link, hofmedia.us/mybookie1000, and get your deposit bonus today. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie.